And with the Dallas Cowboys cap space, not it's okay, it's average, nothing to worry about. But this is a team, and there's a couple of them that we're going to talk about here that I really can't. Maybe you could do a better job, but I can't really get too much into what they're going to need in the draft until free agency is over, because are they going to re-sign Pollard? You would think yes. If they do, they should be fine there. Are they going to re-sign Schultz? I don't think so, because they have Ferguson, but we'll see. Are they going to re-sign Brown? If they don't, they need another receiver. Overall too, I just think that offensively it might be a good idea to add another more competition at center, because that kid just hasn't really worked out for them. He's just a player. And they also have to keep in mind that Tyron Smith and Zach Martin are starting to get older. And so that's also something on the offensive line that they have to consider. So if I had to guess, I think they let Schultz go, because I could see Schultz getting a pretty good offer, and I think that they can live without him. But the other thing is what do they do at quarterback? Cooper Rush is a free agent. So do you just bring Rush back on the cheap and then just have him as the veteran number 2, but you also go out and sort of like what we talked about with Kirk Cousins, do you also go out and think about a future quarterback?
That after that playoff loss, I think the answer's got to be you have to start going that direction and find your next Dak. Dak was a 4th rounder, right? And then he kind of, I think he got his first opportunity because of injury. Was it Romo? Was it that long ago?
Yes, I believe it was.
So, and it worked out. I mean, from that perspective, I know he's being paid big money right now, but a 4th rounder doing what Dak does, a huge success story, right? But now there's a different level of expectations put on you when you're being paid what he's being paid, for a lot of reasons. One of them, you just can't spend on the team as much as you used to. He's taking up a hefty percentage of what they're allowed to spend. So,
and they're stuck with him like Kirk Cousins for 2 more years.
Right. There's other areas of the offense that need to be addressed before you go and draft a 2nd, 3rd,
so
4th
would you
round
wait
quarterback.
1 more year before doing that then, a quarterback?
I would, because I think their window is like it's right now.
So that means that you got to do more on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Because that's really when Dak was at his best, when he had the elite offensive line in front of him.
Yeah.
And then also a little bit on defense. Maybe, I don't know. To me, the defense, I think the biggest issue might be on the interior of the defensive line. What do you think? And they also have a lot of other free agents also on that side of the ball. They've got Donovan Wilson as a free agent. You've got to decide what to do with Anthony Brown at corner. You got the linebackers, Barr and Van Der Esch, are free agents. You got 2 defensive tackle rotation players are free agents. This is a very hard team to pick what they're going to do with the draft until free agency's done.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we'll circle back on. This is definitely a team you're going to want to watch. 2 things to keep an eye on, or 2 players to keep an eye on that could dictate some of their spending. For multiple years in a row, tackle Tyron Smith and running back Ezekiel Elliott were both restructured. Basically, the team restructured their contracts so they could spend more in that current offseason, and they pushed the spending. They kind of just kicked the can down the road, as they say. They didn't do it this past year. And for now a year, right, almost a year, I've been kind of thinking that they're going to be cut loose this year.
Who?
Tyron Smith and Zeke.
Both of them?
Just both of them. Because of the money that's coming their way, the lack of production that they're coming on the table, and because they have the replacements on the roster. Tyler Smith,
that's one of them.
A lot of penalties, but he played a good left tackle for a rookie out of Tulsa. Pollard, the injury, a little concerning, but it seems like it's something that won't affect his offseason training that much. It's not a ligament, it wasn't soft tissue. It was a clean break. He's the best running back on that team. There's no question. There's no, every Zeke fan would say the same thing. So now you're paying. I mean, they had the 2nd most expensive running back room in the NFL. And is that real value? It's not, especially when the guy that's making less money is the better player. So, I mean, Pollard's got to be re-signed. They're going to sign him to a deal. I don't think you could have both of those contracts on the roster at the same time. But what this can do is open up the door to spend elsewhere on the roster. I think they need another receiver. But what I don't know, and I don't think anyone outside that room knows, what is Jalen Tolbert, the
That's what we
third-round pick
don't
from
know.
South Alabama? I mean, a lot of us thought he was going to be one of their main receivers this year, and he barely saw the field, got hurt.
Maybe he needs a year.
Didn't pick up the playbook. So maybe he just needed that year. Maybe he is that guy. But, they know the answer. I thought T.Y. Hilton, other than Lamb, after they picked up T.Y. Hilton, I thought he was their second best receiver. An in-season pickup.
Do you think that Gallup's injury is the main reason why he just didn't show anything this year?
I don't know. He's been an inconsistent, maddening, polarizing receiver his entire career. He's got all the talent in the world. I remember when he came out, I think it was 2018. He was my number one receiver in that draft class. It was a weaker than normal class, but he's got that ability.
Yeah, he does.
It's just everything is inconsistent about his game. And if you really want to put the best system around Dak Prescott, like you said, you got to build up the running game, which is probably going to stem from the offensive line being a little bit stronger.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
I think he needs another receiver. I really do. Whether it's a slot or, and if Tolbert does work out, then hey, now it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and so do you think, again, it all depends on what they do with free agency, but do you think the defense, what you saw in just even the San Francisco game, do you think the defense is good enough?
I do.
Okay, so really, your main issue is, and which is strange though in a way, because the offense for like 2 months was like scoring in the 30s and the 40s, Yet it's still a problem.
Their ceiling is always high every year. When their best football every year, like their offense is up there with the best offenses in the NFL, and I mean that. But it sounds like I just read that Mike McCarthy is going to be calling the plays.
I guess
year.
We know what that means to Moore. I guess he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's already interviewing somewhere else. I forget where it was, but I do think I saw his name pop up on the ticker where he's interviewing somewhere else. That's why I do feel good about Dallas in terms of their potential to get over the hump because of the defense. It's a much more stable group than it used to be. They have some interesting young players that I think can be very good in year two. Deron Bland, the corner, DN Sam Williams, linebacker Damone Clark. Yep. I'm high on all three of those guys, and putting them on the field with maybe one of the 2 or 3 best football players in the NFL and Michael Parsons, I think they can get it done on that side of the ball.
And they also need a new place kicker.
Yep. Oh man.
All right.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, it's undervalued position until you need it, right? Until you need that big kick.